Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021. Welcome to day 246. The House passed legislation to fund the government through December 3rd and extend the debt limit until after the 2022 elections. The vote was a party line vote with no Republicans supporting the bill. The fiscal package is needed to avoid a government shutdown and a first-ever default on U.S. debt. The bill now heads to the Senate, where Mitch McConnell has vowed that Republicans won't support raising the debt ceiling. Without at least 10 Republicans supporting the bill, it will fail to advance past the 60-vote filibuster threshold. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said this is playing with fire. Playing games with the debt ceiling is playing with fire and putting it on the back of the American people. Failure to raise the debt ceiling could cost the U.S. economy 6 million jobs, wipe out $15 trillion in household wealth, send the unemployment rate to roughly 9% from where it currently is around 5%, and plunge the country into an immediate recession, this according to the chief economist at Moody's Analytics. Congress has to pass a funding plan by September 30th to prevent a shutdown, while Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned congressional leaders that the debt ceiling must be raised or suspended by sometime in October, when the U.S. will exhaust all of its options to pay its bills. Moving on, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas vowed to complete an investigation into the treatment of Haitian immigrants at the Texas-Mexico border after videos showed mounted Border Patrol agents running down migrants and using their reins as whips. Mayorkas told the House Homeland Security Committee that an undisclosed number of agents have already been placed on administrative duty. House Democrats, meanwhile, demanded that Customs and Border Protection officials brief the Oversight Committee this week about agent conduct, as well as direction they received from supervisors and disciplinary action being taken. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent hundreds of state-owned vehicles to the southern border to form a steel wall to block migrants from crossing the border. Nearly 15,000 Haitians have taken refuge under the border bridge in Del Rio, Texas, while trying to seek asylum. Abbott said, "We effectively regained control of the border." Moving on, an attorney who worked with Trump's legal team tried to convince Mike Pence that he could overturn the 2020 presidential election results. In a 2-page memo, John Eastman laid out a 6-step plan for Pence to overturn the election for Trump, which included throwing out the results from 7 states. Under Eastman's scheme, Pence could then declare Trump the winner with more electoral college votes at 232 to 222. Eastman and Trump proposed the plan to Pence on January 4th in the Oval Office. A separate internal memo, issued 2 weeks after the 2020 election, shows the Trump campaign knew that the election conspiracy theories pushed by pro-Trump lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell were baseless and false. The Trump campaign's communication staff, however, remained silent. Meanwhile, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection says it will move straight to subpoena some recalcitrant witnesses. Representative Adam Schiff said the panel will make requests where we think they will be complied with, but will skip the time-consuming steps of giving potential witnesses weeks to voluntarily comply. The Democratic chairman of the House Select Committee said the panel could start issuing subpoenas to companies and individuals within a week. And finally, Trump filed a $100 million lawsuit against his niece, the New York Times, and 3 of its reporters, claiming that they conspired in an insidious plot to obtain his tax returns for a Pulitzer Prize-winning story that detailed his undisclosed finances. The Trump lawsuit alleges that the Times convinced Mary Trump to smuggle records out of her attorney's office and turn them over to the Times in violation of a confidentiality agreement she signed in 2001. The October 2018 article reported that Trump participated in dubious tax schemes during the 1990s, including instances of outright fraud, which allowed him to receive over $413 million from his father, Fred Trump Sr., while significantly reducing his tax burden. In a statement, Mary Trump called her uncle desperate and said, "I think he is a loser, and he is going to throw anything against the wall he can." That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.